Lipari is the largest of the Aeolian Islands, a chain of islands as part of a volcanic archipelago joining Vesuvius, which is near Naples, and Etna, near Catania. The volcanoes are still active, and both steam and underwater fissures are still visible. Pumice and obsidian volcanic rocks are in plentiful supply here. Pumice mining is a main industry on Lipari. Greek colonists arrived in Lipari from Knidos, Turkey, around 580 BC, having lost their leader, Pentathlos, in an abortive attempt to colonize Sicily. They based themselves in Castello. Lipari successfully fought the Etruscans, people from the Italian mainland, for control of the Tyrrhenian Sea. Carthaginian forces held Lipari during their campaign against Dionysius of Syracuse in 394 BC. Agathocles took Lipari in 304 BC by subterfuge, but lost all of his plunder during a storm at sea. Many artifacts from that period are now on display at the Aeolian Museum of Lipari. Lipari was a Carthaginian naval base during the First Punic War and fell to Roman forces in 252 to 251 BC. Agrippa controlled Lipari as part of Octavian's campaign against Sextus Pompeius. Under the Roman rule, the main use of Lipari was as a holiday spa, and some of those features remain active today. To learn more about La Bella Sicilia, consider subscribing. Lipari's first bishop, Sant Agadone, according to a local legend, found the sacred remains of the apostle St. Bartholomew. As Sicily was conquered by the Arabs in the 9th century, Saracen pirates began to raid Lipari and the surrounding islands. The Saracens slaughtered most of the population in 839 and recovered the relics of St. Bartholomew to Benevento on the mainland. Lipari was left abandoned. The Normans took Sicily from the Arabs between 1060 and 1090. Lipari was soon repopulated. The island's population has lived ever since under the threat of pirate raids, while their rulers changed in line with the regular transitions of power on the Sicilian mainland. Hayreddin Barbarossa the pirate, as part of the Franco-Ottoman alliance, laid waste to Lipari and took the entire population, including children, into slavery in 1544. A small number of those enslaved were lucky enough to be ransomed in Messina and did get to return to the islands. Charles V repopulated the island with Spanish people and fortified the city walls around the ancient Greek acropolis. The walls proved to be a formidable obstacle to future invasions. They remain to this day. The acropolis provided shelter for the population during raids. However, the island beyond the town was abandoned until the risk of pirate attacks receded in the 19th century. Between the 1920s and the 1940s, Lipari was a penal colony which held political prisoners, including Emilio Lusso, who combated fascism, Curzio Malaparte, Carlo Roselli, a fascist writer, and Edda Mussolini, daughter of the fascist dictator Benito Mussolini. The Archaeological Museum covers the long and fascinating history of the islands. Strabo claimed Lipari was the island of Aeolia, the island of the winds in Homer's Odyssey. The famous movie Chaos by Paolo and Vittorio Taviani included scenes filmed here at Lipari. In 2013, the mayor of Lipari banned the wearing of bikinis, thongs and swimming costumes in the town centre. Vulcano is a small volcanic island in the Aeolian Islands. It has 4 active volcanoes above the sea. The volcanic activity in the region is largely the result of the African tectonic plate moving across the Eurasian plate. The word volcano derives from Vulcan, the the Roman god of fire. It is debated whether Shakespeare's play The Tempest was based in Vulcano. The Romans harvested raw materials from the island, such as timber and sulphur. These activities continued until the 19th century. The Dominican monk Burchard of Mount Sion made the first recorded ascent of the volcanic cone in the 13th century. Interestingly, Ludolf von Sudheim refused to climb the very same volcanic cone, fearing the crater was actually the gates of hell. As Bourbon rule collapsed in 1860, the Scotsman James Stevenson bought part of the island of Vulcano. He built a villa, he restarted mining and began producing Malvasia. Stevenson left Vulcano as the last major eruption began in 1888. Stevenson's villa is still intact. The ancient Greeks called the island of Vulcano Terasia and Tedmessa. In Greek myths, Vulcano, along with Etna and Olympus, was the foundry of Hephaestus, and he made weapons for the gods of Olympus. The Romans explained earthquakes preceding the volcanic ash was actually Vulcan making weapons for Mars, the god of war. Salina is the second largest of the Aeolian Islands. It consists primarily of Santa Marina, Malfa and Lenni. Salina comprises of 6 volcanoes and is included in the World Heritage List due to volcanology. However, the last eruption was believed a very long time ago. Salina has its own nature reserve called Riserva Naturale del Fossa del Felci e dei Bori. Agriculture is important to Salina, and its produce includes olives, highly prized capers and Malvasia wine. The Michael Radford film Il Postino, The Postman, starring Maria Grazia Cucinotta, was filmed in Procida and Salina. It is believed that the island Salina was inhabited since the Bronze Age. Its fate improved and degraded through numerous waves of invaders and settlers. There was a Greek settlement at Santa Marina from the 4th century BC, and this remained during Roman times. The Greek name for the island was Didyme, which described the 2 mountains as twins. Stromboli is the site of Mount Stromboli, one of the most active volcanoes in Italy. It has been active for between 2,000 and 5,000 years. Legend says that Aeolus lived here. The island is nicknamed Lighthouse of the Mediterranean due to its frequent volcanic activity. The conclusion of the book, Journey to the Centre of the Earth by Jules Verne, is set on Stromboli. It is believed that J.R.R. Tolkien's Mount Doom in Mordor was based on Stromboli. The movie set of the movie Stromboli was actually on the island of Stromboli, and this was directed by Roberto Rossellini and starred Ingrid Bergman. The name Filicudi is a variation on the Greek name for Phoenician island. The majority of Filicudi is a natural reserve. There are remains of a Bronze Age village at Capo Graziano. The island was inhabited since 3000 BC. At times abandoned, it was occupied by the Greeks, the Romans and the Byzantines. After 1971, Filicudi was used as an offshore penal colony for alleged leaders of the Italian mafia. Since the 1970s, Filicudi has also attracted photographers, artists and tourism. The island of Alicudi is the now long extinct Montagnola volcano. The name Alicudi derives from the Greek word for heather, which grows on the island. Alicudi's population was subject to repeated attacks by pirates. There is also evidence of a Roman settlement on the island. The island has an interesting reputation for witches and sorcerers. Panarea is the smallest of the Aeolian Islands. The island is an inactive volcano with thermal springs and scuba diving. The island is surrounded by several cliffs, reachable only by boat. The island was originally named Euonymus, and there's evidence of both Greek and Roman settlements from about 1200 BC. After the fall of the Western Roman Empire, the population of Panarea fled due to repeated raids by pirates. In modern times, Panarea has become a very fashionable vacation spot, with celebrities visiting in the summer.